Hi guys, and welcome back to the Once You In You In podcast with me,
Guys.
Finkerley, and
Mate, we're limiting our new listeners, because imagine listening to a podcast, you're instantly going, I ain't listening to this shit.
Yeah,
Like anybody who's already in is going to stay in.
Yeah, but once they're in, they're in. But I've had a few requests to just do a stupid voice every week, so I'm going to have to I'm going to have to try and find a library of silly voices. Otherwise, I'll just do the same one every week. I'll keep running.
Should we do like a generator, like a different accent generator, and we have to pretend to do a different accent every time? That'd be good. So just a random accent generator, and then we'd have to do it. That'd be fantastic. So yeah, we're gonna have to be a bit quick, can't we? Finn's gonna get told off, or Finn has been told off. Yeah. He's going holiday shopping for clothes. After this,
suitcases. I need suitcases as well.
Rookie error. This leaving. You're going on Wednesday, aren't you?
On Monday.
You're going on Monday? We're going on the same day? Where are you flying from?
I told you I was going on the 16th.
I didn't realise this. Where do you...
Midlands.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So yeah, you've got the weekend, mate. You could have done it on Sunday.
I could.
It's going to be you have to get everything packed on Sunday. Everything packed on Sunday.
I'm doing check-ins from Monday, Tuesday, early. I've asked everybody to check in like 2 days early from the start of the week. So like Sunday, check in on Friday, Monday, check in on Saturday, and so on. So I won't be able to do much at the weekend because I'm so busy.
Yeah, you're actually going to get to the gym on Saturday at like a normal time, or are you just going to sack off the session?
I'm not going to train.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
I am actually having a full week off.
What, training?
From the Monday to the Monday, yeah.
Okay. What day do you get back on Monday?
I get back like early Saturday morning, and then I've got my sister's baby shower on Saturday. I don't know what time, but...
Sister's baby golden shower?
Yeah, my sister's baby golden shower. We're all going piss on the baby.
Fantastic way to bring it into the world. So it comes straight out.
It's basically like baptizing it, but when you're not Christian.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what you do. But yeah, it just makes sense to have a full week off and then devolume the following week. Mate, I've got so many people wanting to train with me.
Who? Come on, list them.
Josh Croggan. Me and Josh Croggan are getting a session in.
Yeah, how am I not getting a session in when Josh is there? I love Josh.
Because you've got bitch tits.
Oh,
no, you've not. You've not got them anymore. Sorry, you've not
got them anymore. Not got them anymore.
Danny Howarth and Big Jack Eagles, they want to train with me.
Yeah. They bottled the session on Tuesday. Did you say that to him? What happened about that?
So Danny messaged me saying, when can we get a session in? So I just said to him,
he messaged me saying that. He said he didn't want to train with me though. He just said he wanted to train with you.
I said Tuesdays I'm at Rotherham for legs, and he was like, I could do next Tuesday, and I was like, oh, I'm on holiday next Tuesday. What about the one after? And then I said, or tomorrow, because this was Monday night, and he was like, fuck it, like we're on. Like basically, he was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then he messaged me at 2 a.m. like, oh mate, there's been an emergency, I can't train. And I was like, didn't want to say it in case like it's something serious. So I was like, yeah, sound, but deep down, he knows he bottled it.
Yeah, fantastic. And who else?
I'm going to train with Niall.
Really?
Niall spoke about training, yeah.
Have you ever even met Niall before?
No, and I've coached him for ages as well.
No,
he wants to do the Cybex hack because he wants to see where he's at on that. So I told him he can like drive to mine and then I'll drive us there because he's in Wales, so it's like probably 2.5 hours from him to here. Yeah. It'll be further to Rotherham.
Well, see, he gets 7 plates on the Atlanta, so he's probably getting like 3.5 to 4, maybe on the Cybex.
I reckon he'll be doing like 4.5 because he does
7 plates on the Atlantis is not that like heavy in comparison.
Yeah, but he's also barbell squatting like 182. He did 182.5 for 6.
Yeah.
If I said to him today, I was like, you probably do like 4.5 for a decent amount. I mean, like let's say like a 6 to 8. But then I said you probably, if he was to have it in consistently, I reckon he'd be doing 5 plates.
More than you?
Probably, yeah.
Fair enough.
Got better legs than me. Got good legs now.
Yeah. Nah, so you got a few sessions lined up. Well, after the holiday, mate, I should be back in the gym. Like today is the first day where I'm like, I kind of want to train. Like it would be nice to train. It's interesting. I thought this, mate, this is the longest amount of time I've ever had off from training. And it's only been 7 full days.
It's not though, is it? Because did you train for the first 12 years of your life?
No. Since my granddad bought me a gym membership, I've never
He's
had
still
more
paying
than,
for it now, isn't he?
it probably is it for Lutterworth. Yeah, I haven't used that gym in about 5 years. It probably, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it's still going.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, no. When Big Derek bought me my gym membership, my first ever one at like 13. I've never had, the longest amount of time I had off previously to this was 6 days, and that was the deload that I had over Christmas. Last year. Because I didn't deload after prep, so I was ruined. And it got around to like Tuesday, and I was like, I'm still pretty battered. And then Wednesday, I was like, okay, I feel all right. And now it's like, I would like to train, but then you got to be mature. I can't. So it's like, it is what it fucking is.
I was speaking to Rob, and he said he's had it done. Rob that owns Premier.
Okay, yeah.
And he said he rushed back into training, like even just leg training. And because he was like exerting himself and he was like putting pressure through his chest, like without even really realizing, pulling into a leg extension, apparently like where he'd had the surgery, like started to fill up with blood and he had to get them drained. So he said to tell you not to rush back.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not going to. Like, I think on like before, I'm gonna do like I'm probably gonna do like maybe 2 pump sessions when I'm away of like 30 reps, 5 sets of just arms and maybe a leg extension and a hand curl. That's not going to be at all demanding, and I won't brace, just to move a bit of blood around. And I don't think that'd be a bad thing. And like I'm quite good in the sense of like I know when something's going to be causing any remote stress. Like I'm not going to be going balls to the wall, but I feel like that's not going to be a bad thing, and it would actually be good to see where I'm going to be. And they said to me about 3 weeks you'll be able to train legs and you'll be able to do cardio, actually move around. So I'll like after 3 weeks, that will be literally when I get back. So I'll class that as like, right, get back into the gym, can do some lower body, maybe some upper body, just pump stuff just to see how it goes. And then after like 3 to 4 weeks, you should be relatively okay. But it's weird because I feel like I could train perfectly well now. Like there's a little bit of discomfort, but like if I really tense my chest hard, but it feels still pretty cool. So there's no major issue.
Yeah.
It would almost be it's almost more frustrating because you actually feel pretty normal. Like if my whole chest was battered, I'd be like, okay, I can't train. But because it's not, it's like,
it's like when we say when you have like a little niggle, but it's not anything like major. That's worse than having something major, because it's like if it stops you from training, you just have to accept it. But when it's like something that's like, oh, it's annoying and it is hurting, but I can train through it, like they're the worst kind of injuries because you end up still training and just making it worse. But it's still manageable to train.
Yeah, you almost want something like in that in between of being like really, really bad, but then not too bad, but then enough to the point where you actually take your mind to it and think, I'm actually a bit fucked. So yeah, that's that. But other than that, week's been all right. Sat around, cracked on with work. It's been nice, to be fair, like to actually slow down a bit. But other than that, there's literally like nothing that's special, nothing that's new. I've been busy. I feel like even though I've slowed down, my days have still been flat out, and it's mental because you think like, oh, it'd be nice to actually have a bit of a break. Every day I finished at like between 4 and 7. Like it's not been a time where I'm like, oh, I get to chill. It's literally where I'm just doing a bit more work because I can. So yeah, do you want to get into the questions, mate? Because I know obviously we don't have a limited amount of time. And also, guys, people who are listening, we are limiting ourselves in this episode for 40 minutes until we find a platform to either pay more money so we can have unlimited time, or we find a way to pay more money to Zoom and we can have.
We're gonna look into Google Meet, aren't we? But we just didn't have time today.
Yeah.
Right. First question, Miles Mason. He says, "When's the pre-prep diet starting?" I'll tell you, mate. It is starting on July the 4th.
July the 4th. How come?
Because that's that weekend is my best mate from back at home's wedding, and I've already got the suit fitted, so I'm not going to diet now. And then obviously I can still I don't want to be dieting while I have my best mate's wedding and be like worrying, oh, I can't eat this.
No, you can't just get on the piss.
I can't get on the piss, yeah. So I'm going to get on the piss, and then the following day I'm going to recover from being on the piss, and then the following day I'll start the diet. Yeah, and then obviously diets can only start on Mondays as well.
Oh yeah, completely. You can't start a diet on any of the day. I remember I started prep on a Sunday, and like I had loads of messages.
You got beat twice.
Yeah, I know. Like, if I started on a Monday, one day later, I would have been far fuller. That one day just dug too much and lost all my fullness. So yeah, that's fair enough. Mine's going to be once I'm back up to 100%, like in the sense of training, like an aggressive, like 6-week tidy up, and then like a bit of a push up towards the latter end of the year. I don't really need to, but then at the same time, like when utilizing like PEDs, it almost makes sense to kind of utilize them when you're at the leanest spot possible.
What?
And therefore, wait, what?
You're utilizing PEDs?
Mate, yeah, PED. The Italian guy.
I hope PED's good.
Yeah, rip PED. Stop asking these
Wait a
questions.
second, sorry, just a quick one. Got to check the ratings.
Okay, fair enough. I'll ask a question.
No, I'm there now. We're on 76. I'm pretty sure we're on like 74 last week.
No, we weren't.
Anybody?
Less than that, I think.
No, we weren't.
Really?
Yeah. We had like the first time it was like 19, then it was like 40 odd. I can't remember. Anyway, if anybody on listening on Spotify, if you haven't rated the podcast yet, please go to the podcast screen, scroll up and give us a rating of 5 stars. Thank you very much.
And even if you're watching on YouTube, type it in. Like, we're providing free content and you're not even rating the podcast. Like,
it's not fair.
This isn't like this kind of exchange. It's just not going to work.
And also,
if you haven't rated the podcast, we don't want to do this for you anymore.
If you could like and comment and subscribe on YouTube as well, that'd be much appreciated. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, wicked. If you're enjoying the pod, though, that's the thing. You have to like it if only you're liking it. So if you're liking it, like. If you don't, fuck off. We've said this before. Don't listen. Right, do you want me to ask one? I've only got about 5, mate. Hope the boobs are good. Cheers, Wood. If pre-bed routine spot on, blue light blockers worth it? Question mark.
Yeah. I think I massively rate them. If you know, it's like when you get asked that question about if you'd go to a desert island, I'd take blue light blockers. 3 things.
No,
I'm joking. I'm joking. But they feel in the current world, like I massively rate them. Yeah, I couldn't live without. To be fair, I don't think.
Fair enough. Yeah, all good. Do you want to go for yours one, mate? Want to go for your question?
DP Fit. It says Team R Fit versus FK Physiques water polo. And then he just put 2 eyes. It's not even a question, that, actually.
No, he's just put 2 eyes. Yeah.
He's put Team R Fit versus FK Physiques water polo, and then that eye emoji.
Yeah, the 2 looking to one way.
Mate,
we actually spoke about it.
Question. You got to ask questions. It needs to be a
question
mark.
Yeah, exactly. We'd almost have to weigh up. We'd almost have to weigh up swimming pros and then like height, power. The reason why this came up was because he mentioned in his check-in, like he's playing water polo and stuff. He says, I've been physically active. And I said to him, like, I've said to you before, for some reason, I'm like freakishly good. The best by an absolute mile. No, mate, football, I'm like here. Water polo, I'm like something stupidly like good. It makes no sense. No, stop fucking pulling a face.
Yeah, but
I'm not joking.
I guarantee if I played with you, I'd be like, oh yeah, you
really wouldn't, mate. I've gone on holiday when I was like between like 8, and I said this to Dan, it's embarrassing because I was like 15 to like 18, and like when I went to Cuba, and do you remember I was like a few kilos off stage condition? People didn't like, I'd walk by places and like people would stop my mum and be like, your son, did he play water polo? And I'd be like, no, and I'd be almost be annoyed because I'd be like, look at how much effort I'm putting into myself. No,
I used to, whenever I was on holiday, like did a few kick-ups, everyone was like,
they thought,
oh, you messy, you messy.
No, mate, genuinely, like if it was, I said to Dan, like there was games, like if I was to be on a one-man team and the score was 20-20, I'd legitimately score like 18. Yeah. Like, I'm not joking, I'm an absolute freak at water polo. I'm shit at the vast majority of sports. I don't hype myself up this much. Water polo.
Did you spend all of his check-in telling him how good you are at water polo?
No, because he hasn't done anything other than drink and tell me about all the girls he's tried to get with. So his check-in was like, mate, but his check-in had no content and I managed to make it 10 minutes or something. And I said to him at the end, I've done a fucking good job here, Dan. And I was like, because there was nothing we could talk about other than just stop, like you complaining about drinking, but you're drinking. You're complaining about food, but you're eating just whatever you fancy. And like, you're on holiday, enjoy yourself. And I managed to make it like 10 minutes of me actually just talking about holidays and stuff. It's quite a nice check-in.
Yeah. It says we've got 10 minutes left.
Christ, right, we've got to hurry up.
It's only giving us half an hour.
Wow, that's annoying.
Yeah. Will Razzo says, favourite South American country?
Oh, Colombia, due to Luis Diaz.
I'll say Chile because I like how it looks down the side of South America.
Fair enough.
He also asked favorite piece of kit for each body part at Ultraflex.
Ultraflex Rotherham, the Mecca.
I'm assuming he means Ultraflex Rotherham.
The Mecca.
The Mecca.
Right. So I'd say, should we just go lower? So are we doing like just quads, hams? What are we going for?
Yeah, quads. I'd say
prime leg extension.
Yeah, probably the prime leg extension because it's a bit
pin
more.
loaded one.
Yeah, it's a bit rare.
The plate loaded one.
Hack.
If you like the plate loaded one, sort yourself out. The pin loaded one.
The plate loaded one is good. It is good. It's just more of a ball ache setting it up. I think they're both very good.
Yeah, I agree. I think the pin loaded one's like elite though. Like I think it's like a very, very good bit of kit. And then so that's quads. Are we doing hams?
Hamstrings.
Yeah, they've got good seated. Like they've got the two of the best seated, other than the one at Evo that Finn absolutely adores. That Sanaya said it was the worst seated hamstring curl she's ever used.
Doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah, Finn was devastated by that. But yeah, the hamstrings are like it's a seated ham, cool. The lying hams are okay. Abdominals, I quite like the
ab coaster's mint.
Yeah, the ab coaster's good. I quite like that. Chest, what do you reckon? There's not really in the gym Lecco's.
Say the Strive incline. I love that.
Yeah, I've never used that, so I wouldn't know.
I know.
The gym shot ones,
but you've definitely slated it in the past, and you've never even used it.
No, I've never slated that.
You have.
No.
When I used to do it, it used to be like, nah, shit, I'm not doing that.
Because I was literally, it was like 6 weeks out and I hated every exercise. If you could ask me, mate, what's the exercise you do now? I'm like, it's shit, I fucking hate it. It was 6 weeks out on like food.
That Strive incline is very, very nice.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of any of the horizontal like chest presses there, if I'm honest. I don't think there's anything that good. The gym shot one's off-centered, like it's not even. The left side's lower than the right. The Jim Lecco's way too aggressive. Like it's so hard to get in. It just feels wank. I don't really know. I've seen the one that AJ uses. You know, the plate loaded one that is by the powerlifting stuff with the weight behind it.
Yeah.
Apparently that's good. Because I spoke to AJ actually. I was like, hey AJ, could you program me a session, please? I don't usually train here. Like when I trained up there at Upper like a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him, I was like, what chest presses do you use? And he was like, honestly, mate, he goes, I'm not really a massive fan of them all. He was like, I've not used the Jim Lecco. He was like, the gym shot one's not the best. And I was like, I know, I was trying to plot out my horizontal press. And I was like, I'm not coming here to do like a Smith press or something. So I ended up using the Jim Lecco.
No, they've got the best Smith in the game.
No, the best Smith in the game. The OG. Yeah, ridiculous. So yeah, pull, prime seated row. Right, extreme, yeah, seated row. I'm trying to think if there's any better bits of kit.
It is good, but I didn't really get on that well with it.
Gym shot row we used was wank. That wasn't amazing.
Just light, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd honestly say a fucking single arm chest supported pull down.
Yeah, you can't beat a cable work for back. I don't think.
Yeah. I had a client say to me the Nautilus single arm pull down was like amazing, so much better than a single arm chest support pull down. I was like, it's good, but I personally wouldn't. He was like, what? I was like, mate, trust me. Like, if you know how to set up a single arm pull down cable,
you won't get anything.
You can't get a machine to be better because you literally can move it perfectly to how you would on the cable.
Yeah.
A machine makes no sense, like in comparison, you know. So yeah, and then have we said anything? I think we said everything. Shoulders.
Nautilus shoulder press.
Yeah, Nautilus shoulder press.
We like that, don't we?
Yeah.
Cool.
Mate, are we finishing this in 5 minutes? I feel like we haven't even got into it.
Yeah, I'll send you another link. Don't worry.
Sound. Well, what we'll do 10 minutes at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
Sound. Come on.
Right.
Come on, face recognition. Right. Any tips when performing an RDL to reduce upper back from losing tightness? I think a lot of people have this with hip hinges. You know, just some upper back rounding. And I feel like before I'll let Finn answer, even though to be fair, this is something that you could probably actually get with. But I feel like a lot of people, they see a slight bit of upper back rounding and they instantly think, oh my God, my set's awful. Like it's the worst set in the world. And they just constantly look for a slight bit of rounding, which when you're training to like a maximum level of intensity and likewise loading is great, there is going to be upper back rounding. It's not a bad thing. If it's lumbar rounding, well, probably not the best, but like thoracic, don't worry. Like for the vast majority of cases.
Yeah, I think it depends. Like for example, someone like you actually struggle to flex your spine, and that's probably why abs are one of your weaker body parts. But then for me, I'm quite mobile through spinal flexion, and therefore I actually struggle to stay tighter through a hip hinge. Even if I'm doing quite a light weight, my upper back, and to be fair, my mid back doesn't stay quite as tight as yours would. For you, you're almost quite stiff, and it's almost harder to actually flex your spine. So part of it is going to be sort of dependent on the individual. And you can think about cues of obviously sort of cueing scapular retraction, cueing bending the bar around the body to keep the bar tight to you, cueing chest out, all those kind of things. But exactly like Reece said, I've had it loads of times with clients where their last rep is the first rep where there's literally the tiniest bit of rounding, I felt my back go, thought I was going to get injured. It's I guarantee you're not going to get injured. You're doing 60 kilos on an RDL and your upper back didn't even lose tightness. It just flexed the tiniest bit. To be fair, hip hinging, part of it, although the primary movers are going to be your glutes and your hamstrings and your erectors, part of it is also going to be rhomboid and trap. The reason that people generally who have big hip hinges have quite big backs as well is because of the amount of sort of stress and pressure that your upper back is under to stop from flexing, that when it does flex and when you then extend it as you come up at the top of a rep, that is almost like a slight rep. Yeah, if you imagine protraction and retraction of the scapula, you're not excessively trying to do that on something like an RDL, but it is going to happen to an extent. Yeah, and if you can get strong at that and get strong at preventing it from happening too much, then you're probably going to have a pretty big back. And again, I'm not one who goes, you just need to deadlift for a big back, because it's not the best exercise just to build a back. But there's no coincidence that people who have a very strong deadlift often don't have a shit back. It's not like they have insane glutes and hamstrings and a horrendous back. Often they have a good back as well.
Yeah, so do you want to whack it there for this, and this will be part one, just so it doesn't cut us out for the next one?
Yeah, cool. See you in part two.
See you later, guys. Catch you in a second.
Right, guys. Hey, guys, we're back.
Don't worry, we didn't go anywhere, because Finn's edited this so well to the point where there's no delay. We've just skipped to part two.
I don't even have to edit it, mate, really. Well, I do. I just have to put it together on iMovie. I'm not doing it again, though. It's fucking annoying. Right.
So, your question?
Actually, let's go through this guy's physique so we don't forget.
Okay. So, Liam, is it? Do you reckon it's Burke? I always feel like it's not Berkey. It's Liam Burke. That's actually how it is. Liam Burke, 99. He competed in the PCA wherever, Majig. I don't really know where it was. So I feel like it might have been Edinburgh. I have no idea if that's right. If it is, was it Edinburgh?
Yeah, I'm just on this thing now.
Jesus Christ. I don't know how I remembered that. So basically, he competed in the PCA Edinburgh show in the junior physique class. He is a good listener, based on the fact that I know that he's asked it pretty much a question for the last fair few weeks. And he always messages me afterwards, cheers for the answer, mate. Means a lot. And if we have a look here, we can see Liam sent through a few photos. So he basically asked on the last week's podcast how we felt like he did, and pretty much what's his opinions on it. Now, if I'm honest, I haven't actually seen and I'm not too sure if you did, I didn't see the junior class. I didn't see the actual top three or anything. I literally only saw Liam, and then the guy who won, I think his name was Josh, he followed me. So it would be good to compare against the winner, but I don't think Josh has actually got any content up or whatever other than literally, let's have a look. Josh Digby, I think his name is. Oh, to be fair, I'm looking at photos of Josh. I'm seeing the top three here actually. So first and foremost, Liam, I think it was pretty clear you finished second. The guy who finished third wasn't as good as you. I think it was pretty much a fight for top two. And if I'm looking at it, I'm only seeing the photos really. And I'd say maybe he's a touch sharper. You won't be able to really see here, Finn, but they're both in the middle there. So I don't know if you can see.
I'm on it.
Yeah. So I'd say Josh is a bit sharper, especially from the side. His obliques are a little bit more crisp. His tans, it's not as dark, but it almost he has a bit more of a pop. I did think in one of these photos, mate, you do look pretty washed out. That might be condition. That might just be a sense of tan. Let's say you're not glazed up properly. You might have been a bit sweaty, whatever it is. But yeah, Josh I think, just looked a little bit crisper. But in reality, Lee, I'm like, well, I don't want to just touch on it, mate. You look good. Like, definitely for, I think this is your first show, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, what do you reckon, Finn? You reckon he brought a good package?
Yeah, but I do think the other guy deserved to win. I think
Yeah.
the main area that you're lagging is your chest. Like, your chest compared to his chest is quite a different comparison. Like, and that obviously in men's physique is quite important in terms of, especially in terms of like top line. If you look at this shot here, like, your chest is in comparison to your delts, especially, and even like your midsection, your chest is definitely quite weak.
Yeah,
so that is what I'd be focusing on.
That's the good thing. Like, the lats pop, the shoulders are good. If anything, I would almost look at, let's say, execution and be like, right, how are you actually performing your presses? Because your front delts are pretty dominant, especially from that front shot. And it wouldn't surprise me, like, if you're literally quite delt dominant when it comes to presses. And to be fair, even your delts could be better. Like, your pushing musculature, Liam, could definitely be improved. So if anything, I'd almost be taking it. I'd be thinking most likely, like, go to the rear. Yeah, I reckon probably a little just bit of density across, so just more muscle across pretty much all areas. So more muscle in the posterior chain, obviously upper body wise because it's physique. And then likewise from the front, I reckon you most likely just need a little bit more chest, a bit more delt. I don't think arms would be a bad thing, but then also I know that with the tattoos, it might be where it's taking away a bit of detail as well. But again, I wouldn't worry too much about them because the midsection looks tight and your condition was good, mate. It wasn't like your condition, let's say, let you down. Just Josh looked a little bit crisper. And then likewise, his chest and his top line was just a little bit fuller in comparison to yours, I'd say. So, yeah, I think it's a good viewing, to be fair.
Cool. You got another question, or should I go?
You go ahead, mate.
One second, guys.
Do you want me to go for one?
That's all right. Cool. So, Jack Eagles, is Reece jealous that you're the better looking one?
Oh, just so jealous, to be fair. I think we have different looks. It depends on what you're after. Like,
you're after a rugged man with a fantastic beard, come my way.
Yeah, exactly. It
big,
depends.
cheat orange alien. You're the
orange,
man.
mate. My tan's awful. I've had one sunbed in the last 2 weeks. Been poor. It was today. So, yeah, not the best for myself, mate. Not the best. So, yeah, Jack, very, very jealous. I would say the same for you, but I'd say Jack's better looking than Danny, like, by quite a long way. Like, yeah, by quite a long way. So, I'd almost say, Jack, how does it feel that you're the better looking version of you and you?
How does it feel to be the best looking person in any room, Jack? You fit bastard.
You sexy boy. You sexy.
We should get
careful, mate. We said that. If we said that 18 months ago, we'd be locked up. He'd be under 18.
Yeah, we should get them on the podcast, shouldn't we, at some point?
It would actually be quite good. Yeah, it would be good. Right, I've got asked a good question, and this is actually something I want to ask the audience. People who are prepped, if you tag us on your stories, if you do, fucking do it. Put if there's anything like this, like say what's the worst/best thing that happened to you on prep? Because I find these things quite funny. So Finn, what's the worst and also the best thing that happened to you on prep? It definitely wasn't winning because that didn't fucking happen. So getting beat was probably your best because I think that was the only positive. You got third. You got a medal at least.
I don't like these questions because I feel like there's nothing special about prep. People are like, oh, what happened? What was the most funny thing you did? What was the worst moment? Like, I don't know. I can't remember. It was just the same as a gaining phase, but I got lean and I competed.
Yeah. So what was the worst thing? The fact that you don't like talking about it now?
I don't know. Like, I don't remember. It was ages ago. I wasn't thinking throughout it like, oh, this was the worst thing. It's like now if you ask me what's the best thing throughout this gaining phase, I don't know. What's the worst thing? I don't know. I don't think about shit like that. Like, now I'd have to think about it on the spot on the podcast, and then I'm just sat there and it's just fucking blank noise.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'd say for me, the worst was like I was just an idiot constantly. Like, I just did things and I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
No different, mate.
Yeah, loads of difference. Like I said to you, and I've said before, like reversing my car into a shipping container with the beepers going off, literally telling me there is a shipping container behind you for 5 seconds, and me just carrying on, going straight into it and doing it and not even realizing what I've done for 10 seconds. Like, I remember I literally sat there and I was like, what's happened? Looked in my rearview mirror and I was like,
We were in
Oh,
the shipping container.
I was in the shipping container. My car had bent around the shipping container. I even had a guy, because I drove off because I was embarrassed. The guy stopped me and go, I thought he goes, you know, you just went into that. And I was like, yep, yeah, I know. I
Yeah,
know.
cheers, mate.
Yeah, cheers. I didn't think that. And then I drove out of Evo, went, you know, to where we parked there and jumped out and went, fuck me, what am I doing?
It was crap.
So that was the worst. The best. There's not a best moment. You don't wake up and just go, oh my God, I'm so fulfilled. The best part is when you look back at the whole process. And the worst part is also probably when you're in the whole process, but you don't realize it in the moment. And it's not like, again, it's if you were to be in a gaining phase, like as Finn said, you don't just go into a gaining phase and you go, oh my God, the worst part is just so how high the food goes. But the people that say that are just the ones who just, they don't like it and they just want to say, so hard.
I'm just very, I don't know what the word is. I'm very blunt to it all. Like, it's like I don't think about it. I'm not overly sensitive. I don't think, oh, I'm struggling to eat my food. Like, I'm just sat there struggling to eat my food. I don't think about it. I just keep eating it until it's gone. But like after that meal, I might be like, fucking hell, that was hard. But like, I don't think this is so hard. Or like in a diet phase when I'm hungry, I'm not sat there thinking, oh, this is the worst I've ever felt in a prep. This is so bad. I don't have time to, because I'm so busy as a coach. But you know what I mean? Like, I honestly think I'm one of the most, I don't know anybody else. You're relatively similar, but I don't know anybody else who's just so unopinionated on things like that. Because I just don't think about it. Because what benefit is it going to have to me thinking about what the worst and best thing was in prep?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just don't think about it. Like, I could think about it now and be like, oh yeah, one of the best things was probably that, you know, I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed my posing routine. That was probably one of the good things. One of the worst things was I felt a bit shit a lot of the time towards the end.
Yeah.
Didn't have a boner for however long.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. Like, you don't realize, but like, again, if you go into it and you're just like, you're seeking and wanting.
Mate, everybody, like majority of people are, and again, I almost blame the media. And we've said this before. It's the same with a new supplement. It's the same with a new piece of equipment in the gym. Everybody just buzzes over things and makes out everything's a massive deal. Like, oh my God, this new supplement is amazing. It's next level. Oh, this new piece of equipment is the best in the game. Like,
it's just like biscuits.
It's just something new. It tastes just like biscuits. It's just something new. Like, this new machine tastes just like biscuits.
No, but like any new machine at Rotherham, every single person jumps on it. And then everyone's like, this is the best chest press I've ever used. This is the best leg press I've ever used. Like, we started using the Gym Leco one because they literally got rid of the leg press we were using. And like, we're like, and we're like, it's a decent leg press. Everyone else is like, it's the best leg press I've ever used. It's not. It's not the best leg press you've ever used. You know? And unfortunately, it's almost, you have to be over the top to, like, it's the same as like starting a prep and you're like, so excited to start prep. No, you're not. Nobody is.
Well, if you are, I think people are. People are, but I think that's because of how people come across online. So like when people start their prep, it's like, oh my God, guys, like this is the biggest thing. This is going to be the best prep ever. Like,
no. And then I remember I've been told like, oh, I love the support. Thanks for all the support. Nobody cares. Nobody wakes up and goes, fucking hell, I better check Reece's story. I hope one day his prep's going. Nobody thinks that.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. I don't know why. Yeah, like there's no support in the sense of like it's only people who just comment. And we've said it before. Like when I was like getting lean, I get loads of comments from people like pro level, looking sick, getting like from people I don't even speak to. And you're like, mate, the only reason why they're commenting is they know that people are going to be seeing you, and then they'll see them, and then they'll just get it for their own engagement.
They just want.
And that's how it is. Yeah, they don't even care about actually being nice and giving you a kind word.
Some do. I would say maybe 10%.
Yeah, but the vast majority don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And like,
but even that 10% in their spare time, they're not thinking, oh, I wonder how his prep's going.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody cares. I remember like I put up a question box like a week before one of my first shows, thinking I'm going to get a fair few questions like, how's prep going?
Zero.
Oh, I literally got like the only questions I got was just like, how's your training? Like there was not even a single like, how's prep, bro? Because like, nobody cares. Like people shouldn't. I didn't go into it thinking I'm going to get 100 questions, but I thought maybe one. None. Nobody cares. People think people care. Like, so if anything, nobody cares. Title of the podcast: Nobody cares about your prep. Just crack on.
Yeah, I'll put that because I always have to fucking think of the title. I have to most weeks I have to go back and listen and think, what did we speak about, and like skip through it.
Yeah.
So I'll do that. Nobody cares about your prep. That's cool.
Yeah. Right. Last one for me. Is your uncle less attracted to you now you've lost your boobs? Yeah. Haven't seen him for a fair few years, but I sent him a photo and yeah, he just blocked me on the spot. So cheers. I don't even have a fucking uncle. That's the funny thing. I don't have an uncle. My family's tiny. I have an aunt. She's a bellend. And then other than that, yeah, she is a bellend. Findo, she's a twat. Proper weapon. And so yeah, that's her. And then other than that, it's my mum, but my granddad. Everyone else is dead. So yeah, or just not alive. Never got born.
Yeah. Right, I've got quite a few, so let's smash through them.
Smash through them, mate. Yeah.
Ben Carlin, the guy who invented Big Finner, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. How to deal with a busy gym around your program, and what's for dinner, Big Finner?
What's for dinner, Big Finner?
Well, he actually put what's for Big Finner dinner. Well, they should have put it the other way around. So first of all, for dinner, it's a rest day, so it's salmon and rice. And how to deal with a busy gym around your program. Generally, try and program around like one piece of equipment or a few pieces of equipment. Like let's say you're in a busy pure gym, get yourself on a Smith for a push day, and you could do 3 presses on the Smith. You could do an incline Smith, a high incline Smith, and a close grip Smith. You've done all your pressing compounds, and then you could literally do dumbbell work for the rest. You could do like a dumbbell lateral. You could even do a dumbbell fly. And there's
always the one thing at pure gyms is there's usually always a free weight bench. Like you can usually jump on. There's usually like 10 to 15 in most pure.
The thing is as well, and I have to say this to clients all the time, like just give yourself a bit more time to train. Like most people can give you can probably give yourself a little bit more time. So give yourself a bit more time and just ask. Yeah, people that train at pure gym, I'd say 90% of them aren't spending more than 5 minutes on a machine.
No.
So you ask and you wait
to like 3 or 4. You know, that are going in from like uni to like that.
Yeah, but even so, mate, if let's say there's four lads from uni on a Smith. If you say how many sets you got left, if they say 3 or 4 each, they're probably done in 10 minutes because they just go bang, 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 bang. They're not all doing 4 plates on it and spending 20 minutes rest period in between. Like they just get on with it. Usually, I know obviously sometimes there's exceptions, but yeah, just like obviously base it on your gym because like. It depends on the gym. I might say, jump on the Smith, but the Smiths might always be taken. So instead, base your session around the cables. Yeah, get yourself on a cable stack. You can do a cable press. You can do cable flies. You can do lateral raises. Yeah, you just have to sort of base it on what is readily available. And even if it's not readily available, something that you can do multiple movements on, basically. And then the rest can be free weight.
Yeah, you said we were push day. You jump on a cable, crucifix lateral, fly, cable press, high incline Smith, so get on a Smith, or like let's say, and then a close grip Smith, and then finish on dumbbell work. Sound push day done. Yeah, like a lower day, ham curl, leg extension, hack squat. That's it. I mean, you can do a whole session on them.
Yeah, but even if you could only get on like let's say you could only get on one thing on a leg day, like you could get on a bar. You could do you could do a leg press, or you could do you can get on a bar in a rack. You can do a back squat, you could do a split squat, you could do an RDL, you could do a hip thrust. You've pretty much covered all your bases there, and then potentially get onto. Like, I wouldn't recommend doing that, but if it was a lower level trainee, like that's absolutely sound. This is from Waboz. Your thoughts on not putting shoulders at the back of the pendulum squat? I'm more comfortable not being in the back, but maybe it changes something for quads. Thanks. Okay,
well, firstly, the vast majority of people, due to kind of how the alignment is and then how your lower back is kind of inserted on the machine, you can probably get a little bit more kind of force production. It's going to be very relevant to you as an individual. I prefer allowing some, like where I bring my shoulders forward. And I think you've answered your own question there, mate. Like if it feels more comfortable, do it. Like that would literally be the case. Like if you actually think about the quad musculature, the only difference is your hips are going to be a little bit more flexed, potentially, depending on the actual pendulum itself. So your quads aren't going to be lesser loaded or loaded in a greater way. It's more so just mechanically shifting you into a slightly easier position to perform the movement if it suits you as an individual. Therefore, Waboz, crack on, mate.
Exactly. Yeah, majority of people will feel better in that position because you can actually push your hips back a lot easier. rather than your hips sort of
And it
coming
almost
forward.
kind of makes the, like, if you think where your feet are in line with your back, it's not where it's like that. It's more so like a straight sort of line to where your lower back is against the pad. So yeah.
Can you explain how to breathe and brace when lifting?
We've said this before, pretend you're getting hit by a bus or like getting punched.
I think that's people still don't know what to do though, because like we'll say that to our clients and they're still, I think, I'll be honest, I think the main reason that people struggle with breathing and bracing is because they care too much about what people think.
Yeah, they don't want to be in the gym and going.
That is honestly the number one reason.
Yeah.
Most people are worried about pulling a face or making a noise. Like, you watch us breathe and brace on a hack, like it makes noise. Yeah. What does it matter? Like, we get tight and we can move more weight. We can put more load through our quads. Yeah. Or watch us breathe and brace on a hinge. Like, you have to accept that you're sometimes going to make some noise and you might pull a face. Like, that is generally, in my experience anyway, the main reason that people actually struggle with breathing and bracing. It's not difficult. Like, breathe in as much as you can. Like, I always say to people, breathe in like it's your last breath you're ever going to take, and then try and brace that air against your core, against like your abs that you sort of contracted, as if someone's going to punch you in the stomach, kick you in the stomach, you're going to get hit by a bus, whatever it may be, to try and protect yourself as much as possible. And you do that ideally either at the top of a rep or on the eccentric, or the first half of the eccentric, like on a hack, for example, where it's not very challenging. You could do it on the first half of the eccentric on a leg press, and then obviously brace through the second half and then drive. But yeah, honestly, the main reason people struggle is because they're like, like, just fucking breathe and brace, do it properly, and then don't ask about it. If you do it properly, you honestly, you'll be sound. Like, it's not that difficult to understand. You might take a bit of time to get better at it, but it's not hard to understand.
Yeah, but people don't.
Yeah. Lewis 10207. What is the highest amount of volume you have both been on whilst training at this intensity? Say right now.
Yeah, currently, definitely. Me and Finn have always done previously to like this gaining phase for me, and then more so kind of the transition from where I am, let's say, like where Finn was obviously after prep. Like, we've both now gone to 5 times per week. Prior, we were on 4 times, weren't we? For like a good year and a bit. So yeah, that's been a big increment if you think about it in just general volume, going from 4 sessions to 5 sessions. And like right now, I'd say like from a volume perspective, we're relatively maxed out. Would you say? Like, we could handle probably a little bit more, but then additionally, like, you've got to kind of weigh that up. Is that going to be beneficial? Like that Wednesday session. So mine and Finn's Wednesday sessions originally started off as quite like a nice sort of pump styled session. It was more like a top-up day. And like, we both have been like, we can add a bit more, can add a bit more, can add a bit more. And now that session's like a full-on upper day where we're doing a vertical press, I'm doing a horizontal press, and then doing a heavy barbell row. And like that session, literally when I started, was just an arm day for me. So it's gone from an arm to an upper day because feedback has allowed me, as I've got fatter, as my food's got higher, as I've come out of prep in a compromised position, to handle more volume. So right now, I'd say our volume is the highest it's been by a landslide. Probably the most it's been in the last like 3 years, probably maybe ever, which is impressive because we've got our intensity a lot higher than it has been. But then also we're on it with every other variable, so we're enabled to be able to train at this level of volume.
Yeah, I'd say we probably both trained with higher volume, like way back when we first started, like where you just do like 3 sets of 10 on everything or whatever. Like, but I think it makes sense. Like, realistically, probably 2-3 years ago, like, we thought, right, we can only do top and back offset, and we've got to, train at the highest intensity possible. But everybody's an individual. Like, and the position I'm in now versus, let's say, 6 weeks out from my show, should I be doing the same amount of volume? No. Yeah. So it depends on the phase that you're in. It depends on how well you manage all the variables outside of training as well. It depends on your accuracy in the gym. If you're really accurate, you're probably going to be doing less volume than someone who's really inaccurate. You're just doing junk volume for the sake of it. So yeah, there's sort of so many things that come into it, but ultimately the best thing to do is kind of what we've done, where learn how to train hard with relatively
on a lesser volume,
and then keep training hard with good form, with good accuracy, and then think, right, where can I escalate volume? Where can I add more volume to? And when you've added a bit too much, you'll know. And then often you'll probably be like, right, okay, I'll deload, and maybe you'll pull back the volume a little bit, and then you might try and bump it up again here and there. Like, that's kind of how it works. And you'll get to a sort of sweet spot where, you know, right, I can keep this kind of volume. I can probably train for about maybe 6 to 12 weeks or whatever it may be, dependent on that person, and have really progressive training before I probably need to pull back a little bit again. And again, sometimes you might think, right, this area is a bit weaker, I'm going to try and add a little bit more there. Or you might think, this sort of body part seems to be recovering really well, so I'm going to just add an extra set here or there and see how I get on. Like, you can easily do that. And I think a lot of the time, people are either one or the other. So they think, oh, I'll either do really high volume, or, oh no, I have to keep it really low and I can only do top and back off set. You do more than 2 sets, you can't do more than 2 sets. And then you've got the other people who are sort of like, everything has to be escalated by 5, 6, 7 sets. It's like, there's a middle ground, and it depends on the person.
Yeah, definitely. Like, our push and arm session currently, I don't even want to think about how much volume that is. Like, I have 4 sets of a lateral, then 3 sets of a press, 2 sets of another press, 2 sets of another press, 2 sets of a fly, 3 sets of a curl, 3 sets of a tricep extension, a 5 drop bicep exercise, 5 drop tricep exercise, and then 4 drops of a lateral.
But it's pushing arms.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not that demanding. We've worked up to that. Like, coming out of prep, if I was to have a look at my volume, my push day was 3 presses, 2 sets on one. 2 sets on one of them, 1 set on the other 2, 2 sets of a lateral, 1 tricep exercise. That was it. You know.
Yeah, that's how it needs to be, though.
Yeah. Exactly.
Andy Bewley, fantastic listener. What's your favourite dessert?
I hate desserts.
Are you bollocks, mate? As soon as you finish the show, you're out for dessert every week with Sanaya.
We had 1 dessert on Sanaya's birthday.
You've had a few at that place.
No. Literally, I've only been once. We went for one for my birthday. Seen
you there more than one.
One for my birthday and 1 for Sanaya's birthday. That was it. We've only ever gone for birthdays.
One for both of your half birthdays and 1 for both
of your birthdays, isn't it? No, I've had 2 desserts. I've had 2 desserts since prep. Finn, this is coming from somebody who literally every Sunday after prep for like 6 months, you're having an off-plan meal on Saturday and you are having a dessert on Sunday. And I had 2 in a 3-month period. I don't like ice cream. I don't like stuff like that. My stomach hates it.
Sundays, if you live near Loughborough or in Loughborough, Sunday's gelato, the cookie dough from there, my word, fantastic. I'm anything. Well, cookie dough, yeah, banging. Like white chocolate or Kinder Bueno cookie dough, or even like Lotus Biscoff cookie dough, tastes just like biscuits.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
just like new CMP.
That'd be my go-to dessert.
Yeah, I honestly, mate, like, I like anything that's got Oreo in. I like Oreos. I'm a bit of a slut for Oreos, but I genuinely don't like ice cream. It doesn't sit with me. I think stuff like that, like, I could have it, but I just feel awful for the rest of the day. So I'm not a fan. Like, I would have something Oreo. Like, give me a waffle with some Oreos on it and some white chocolate. That'd be sound.
A bit nice,
yeah.
Right, last one. I need to go.
Cool.
Generally, fitness jobs would you be in if not coaches? I reckon we'd both be doing something to do with sport, probably football based. I was. Can
I be an S&C coach? Like, is that allowed in football? Because that's why I got my degree in.
Yeah,
so that's what I did.
It says not coaches.
Yeah, maybe I'd quite like, even though I think it'd be too geeky and I wouldn't be good at it, but I'd quite like to be like an analyst. I think it'd be good to like be quite good at dissecting.
I was doing it at uni, wasn't I? Like, my degree. It was quite good.
Yeah,
but
I'd like that. Yeah.
I think it'd be almost more. It's a bit boring. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. It would be. I reckon it would be something sport related. Yeah, it'd be something sport related, I reckon, and it would be something to have some like performance aspirations, whether it's for me or whether it's like an individual, like a team, or like an individual or a team, and yeah. Or what we've said before, when we were getting actually busy quite a bit last year, we were just like, fuck it, let's just start working for Tesco. Style away into Tesco. They'll get an application from me and Finn. They have an application response to go back to, and we'll just start stacking shelves. And it'd be actually quite good fun. We'd say we're only working if we can get the same shifts.
We did say, didn't we, that it would be like, we wouldn't be as stressed. I think this was like, say, when we were sort of learning how to manage our workload. And we were like, mate, this is fucking horrendous. Like, what do we do? Like, let's just stop it and go and work somewhere easier.
Yeah, let's work at Tesco.
That being said, though, I guarantee we do like a shift at Tesco and be like, fucking hell, this is too much hard work. Like,
yeah, we do it. I'm not going to do it tomorrow.
In one day.
Yeah. They'd be like, Reece, can you pick that box up? And I'm like, oh, I've got deadlifts tomorrow.
I'm not.
Yeah,
Fuck off, I'm not
no,
picking that box up.
no, I'm not. Can you? Is that all right?
That is kind of your job. No, I can't. Sorry, I can't do it.
All right. Is there any chance you could walk?
You old
Is there any
Doris
chance-
down there to do it.
Yeah, is there any chance you can just walk over there and get that box? I'm like, done my steps today. Sorry. Imagine sacked after one shift. Class. Right, that's that. Anything you want to leave it on, mate?
No, but I'm going shopping.
Fair enough. What are you going for other than holiday clothes? Anywhere particular?
I don't know, mate. I need to go though, otherwise I'm going to get told off even more.
Okay, well, fair enough. Well, thanks for everybody who's listened. I've done the outro before. And yeah, bye, guys.